What's going on, everybody? This is RadTechShoe, and I'm bringing you part 18 of my Dante's Inferno LP. So before we get too far into the video, let's go ahead and have a little cutscene.
Your immaculate father hereby absolves you!
We came here to kill these heretics!
We came to reclaim the Holy Land.
Since when are heretics worth a Christian life? Enough!
So from that cutscene, you can tell that Dante has, he definitely has a lot of anger issues. And right over here, we have Hecuba, the Queen of Troy, who watched as her city fell in battle. Her hapless, wretched soul lies in the darkness of hell, besieged by the condemned who flog her at every turn. Well, that sucks, so let's absolve her. And this is an example of the auto-absolve, so she's been auto-absolved, no minigame, no nothing. So now we're going to go ahead and continue on. We've got a small puzzle here. Nothing too difficult. What we have to do is we have to turn the crank. It'll lower the fire. And in doing so, it'll allow us to walk on the top. However, it'll come back, it'll rise back up. So what we have to do is, this is I learn in progress right here. I'm like thinking, okay, am I doing something here? Am I doing something here? So I jump up top and I see the crank, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I got to move the crank over here. I got to pull the lever, push it across before the fire gets back up. It's that simple. If the fire does come back up, as you'll see right here, it'll ignite a row. And each time it, and it'll just keep igniting more and more rows until I die. So that's the thing right now. Now we're on a timer. We have to get out of here as soon as possible. We have to keep going up and up to the top of the tower and not get burned to a crisp. And I mentioned that we're going to be going through the bulk of anger right now. We're actually going to break this. We have two more parts. We have this part and another part, and then we'll be done with anger. But I'm gonna break it up a little. Well, it's gonna the way I separate the videos is gonna be a little unorthodox this time. I'm not going to break it up at save points, because we get to a save point early on right here in like not too far from here. Like in a few minutes we'll get to it. But then we won't get to one for like another 20-something. Close to 30 minutes it feels like. So instead of doing like a 5-minute video and then like a 25-minute video, I'm going to I'm just gonna break this video up as evenly as I can. So I'm gonna pause in the middle of gameplay, and I'll let you know where I'm gonna pause, like at what point. But for the most part, it's gonna be pretty easy. I'm gonna stop halfway through a major point, because the sections we go through are actually pretty time consuming. Especially one concerning a new character that we're going to interact with. So right here, the crank is not going up for some reason, and I'm like, okay, why is it not going up? Why is it not going up? So I gave up, and I moved over to this one. And luckily, it goes up just in time, and I managed to get away from the fire. So now we got to go through all the way up here. We got to slash and break all these barricades that are stopping the crank. And we got to kill all the enemies before we get burned alive. But this is going to be unique. This Circle of Hell was pretty awesome in terms of like visuals. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are some moments here that just were exceptional looking. And once we get to the top right there and pull that lever, you'll see why. And right here, I almost died. I held R1 by accident, and I almost went back down into the fire. But let's pull the lever and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now that we pulled the lever, there's a raft that appeared at the very bottom. But before we go down to the bottom, let's go over here. We're going to get the fountain right here, and if we go a little further up to the right, we're going to actually find a relic. So we've got a bunch of we have a bunch of souls now, so let's get this new relic. The Guiding Flame. So, let's have a look at what our relics are going to do. Or what relics I'm going to equip. As you can see right there, I've got the gold that's fully maxed out at level 3. So I'm looking at Karen's ore, and I'm like, yeah, I can equip Karen's ore. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to get bonus holy points. So I'm just having a look around. I look at the Guiding Flame. Dante's immune to excrement attacks, like the glutton's, projectile attacks. So when the glutton vomits or shits on you, you're immune to that damage. It's cool, but you don't fight gluttons all that often, so it's not really all that useful. I guess if you see a glutton spawn, you can afford to equip it. And I could have actually used it later this mission to be perfect. Later this video, to be perfectly honest. But whatever. Let's go down here and talk to Virgil. See what he has to say.
Now, my son, the city of Dis draws near, housing its condemned citizens within. The eternal fire that blazes there makes the mosques show red in this nether hell.
Okay, so what Virgil mentioned is we're going towards the city of Dis. Once we reach the city of Dis, I'll go into it, because it's actually quite a good story, I must admit. But right here we have another damned. This is Filippo Argenti. He is an angry politician who opposed Dante's return to Florence. And Argenti stole from Dante's family after he left for Florence. So, this bastard backstabbed me personally. He was just an angry, bitter person who did not want me to come back alive. So, fuck him. He's gotta die. Again. So this is where the save point is. And as you can tell, we're not even 8 minutes into the video. So, let's just get on the raft. Now I'm going to continue forward, and we're not going to encounter another save point for quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop in the middle of an area, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to end the video right there, and then we'll pick up where I left off and continue the fight, because we're kind of in the middle of a fight, but it's at a certain rest stop area, so I didn't just stop in the middle of an attack or anything. So we'll pick up where I leave off at a rest area, because there's no save point for quite a while. All right, so now we're crossing the Styx Marsh on this raft. Don't worry about all the pests you see flying in the background. Worry about the ones that fly out of the head of the statues. Those are the only ones you'll ever have to be concerned with. And once again, I'll put the cross to good work. So we're almost at the end of the marsh. We're just crossing, and we're on our way to the city of Dis. We just have this is pretty much what we're going to be doing for the next 20-something minutes of gameplay. For the rest of this video and the rest of all of next video, we're going to be on our way towards Dis. But it's going to take a while to get there. So once we defeat these pests, that'll pretty much be it. We'll be across the marsh, and we're gonna encounter something. Like I said, this circle had some good visuals. So if you look right here, we pretty much reached the end, and I'm like, ooh, whoa, ooh, what are we? Ooh, holy shit, we're on top of someone. Dang, this is. Oh shit! Oh fuck! I was so impressed by what I was looking at, I didn't pay attention, and I didn't see the square at the top. But luckily, we get another chance to try it. And this guy is nice enough to refill our health and mana for us, so I'm very appreciative of that. So, let's go ahead and, follow the button commands and get ourselves to safety. Okay, so we got some minions to fight, and his guy's name is Flagus, or Flagus, however you pronounce it. He is essentially going to be the reason we're going to be taking so long to get to Dis. So now let me give you a little backstory on who this guy is. So in the original Divine Comedy, Flagus was actually the ferryman who carried Dante across the river Styx. So his role here has been slightly modified. He did technically help us cross the River Styx. Just, he wasn't this gargantuan fucking titan, you know, and trust me, he might not look as big now, but we're going to actually ride him eventually. We're going to take control of him, believe it or not, and it's going to be awesome. Because we're going to feel like a fucking god when we take control of him.
How did I come to this fate?
I do believe we have a deal.
Why has Dante forsaken me?
Alright, so there's Lucifer and Beatrice. Lucifer's got plans for Beatrice, and it's up to us to try and stop him. So, let's go ahead and cross over here. Swing right across. And right there, I almost swung back for no reason. Now, here is actually going to be the area where I'm going to stop the video. But it's going to be several minutes before I do that. Because what we've got to do is we got to fight a bunch of enemies while dodging Phlegis's attacks. So by throwing the lever, obviously we got to get the gate to drop. In order to get the gate to drop, we're going to have to defeat all the enemies and survive. So one thing I don't like about this is right here. His punch attack, his pound, misses me. But as he pulls it up off the ground, that's what hits me as well. It can do damage either one of those two ways. And I mean, look at that damage, man. 2 hits. I was at full health, and 2 hits he took me to that where I was right there, just before now. So like, it's ridiculous how much damage this guy does. I understand he's a huge titan and stuff like that, but I mean, I shouldn't take damage as he's lifting his hand up. He's done attacking. He's just pulling his hand up off the ground. And that, if I'm near that, right there, I die. Bam. Look at that. So, I'm going to die here because I died because of that. I took 3 hits and then a little bit of chip damage from the babies and from the Temptress. And because of all that, I die. So, like I said, Phlegis is no joke. He can easily kill you if you're not paying attention to his attacks. So, let's try that again. Now I'm going to activate Lust Storm right off the bat and keep the babies off me. He likes to pound that one side, right next to the gate. If I'm over here on the right side, I'll usually be safe. So as you can see, now I'm going to refill my mana. And I'm going to try and get rid of all these people. And I desperately wanted to get away from that side. I did not want to be near his fist. Okay. So once we defeat this bitch, the second wave of enemies will come. And right there you see, sometimes even after they're stunned, when I pull them in, they still don't die. And right here, I failed to push the buttons quick enough, and the glutton eats me. So if you wanted to see the death that a glutton does to Dante, there it is. I got eaten by a glutton. So, third time's the charm. Let's do this. And like I said, we're just on our way to Dis. That's all we're doing. We're going to the city of Dis. That is all we're doing. That is all we've been trying to do for the last several minutes now. It just takes us a while. This area, Anchor has been pretty fun. This is the only tedious part. All these battles, because we got a couple more battles after this. But luckily, I'm not gonna force you to watch them all in this video. I mean, god dang, this is like a gauntlet pretty much. That's pretty much what this is. This is a gauntlet. And right there, I wasn't even close to his hand, but I still got hit by it for some bullshit reason. So, like I said, Phlegis is kind of annoying to deal with. He's definitely more dangerous than Cleopatra was when she would randomly attack in. You know, Phlegis is definitely by far more sinister. So, now let's deal with this. Let's refill my mana. And look, every now and then Phlegus will attack the other side for some reason. I don't know why. I'm clearly not over there. I'm on this side. But we gotta deal with 2 Temptresses and 1 Glutton, and then we'll be able to and then we should be able to move on as long as no more bullshit happens. So right here, I'm just gonna gain some distance, use and abuse the cross. Throw this bitch at that bitch, keep him at a distance. You know. So the good thing is when oh, and right here, my roommate actually came into my room and had to ask me something real quick, and I'm like, what? What is it? Like, so I'm like, okay. So I apologize for this small interruption, but my roommate had to talk to me real quick as I was recording this live footage. So the good thing when a glutton picks you up after he rushes you, all you have to do is just mash circle. Like, mashing circle will get you out of a lot of circumstances. So once we defeat the glutton and this last Temptress, we'll be able to move on. It just takes way too long to get there. Oh, actually no. We'll have more enemies after these two. I forgot. This is actually a really difficult battle. As you can see, my health is so damn low. And I'm like, oh yes, health. I can finish him off. So I'll absolve his fat ass. I get health, and then a guardian demon shows up, and I'm like, damn it, man, let me through. So right here, I get hypnotized, and then I get attacked, and I'm like, oh, that's a dick move. Alright, so I throw them over there, and I'm going to try and keep them at bay with the cross. Maybe Phlegus will damage him. And sure enough, he does. That's the only good thing about Phlegus. And I took another hit from his fucking fist again. So, that's the only good thing about Phlegus, is that he can damage enemies. So now we just gotta deal with the Guardian Demon. The 2 Temptresses are dead. And this is it. We are finally done here. I'm gonna go get these 2 fountains over here, and this is where I'm gonna end the video. I'm gonna end the video right as I'm about to pull the crank to raise the bridge. And that is it, and I will see you all in the next video. This is RadTech Shoot, signing off.